Hello, awesome people in the world. Let's talk about a word I don't like that Neville uses, okay? And that is the word surrender. One, because I don't know if it's because I'm, a Western person where we focus so much on freedom. And Neville's about freedom. He calls this the law of liberty, okay? But I do think that the word surrender is a bit archaic, right? And I think it's a bit misunderstood and what he's actually meaning behind the word surrender. So what does it mean to surrender to the state? And in other places, he really does argue that we should fall into the states, right? And so when I hear the word fall, I hear the word falling in love. So when he uses the word surrender, that's what I want you to hear. He's really, really articulating that we should be spending time with the state, within, right? This is why we create 3 to 5 different scenes. It's not just one scene that we're rehearsing because we're falling in love with it, right? We're spending time with it. And so how can you turn this into a technique? Well, it's actually really easy. And this is taken from psychology and behavioral science and something that I've actually used both of those fields to create in my coaching program. And I call it the characteristic chain development. And so what you're doing is you're falling in love with the state, okay? So what you want to do is you want to take any state that you want. Being rich, being loved, being accepted, being powerful, being famous, okay? And I want you to script out 3 to 5 scenes, okay? Be as detailed as you want because you're going to go in and use these. And the brain loves story. So use that. It's a strength. Use your gift of storytelling to create a very compelling story, right? And even somewhere below that, all of the emotions and feelings that you want to feel in it, okay? And yes, emotions are the seedbed for feelings. So you want strong emotions so you can have strong feelings, which will turn into conviction and self-convincing, okay? So when you are using this framework, the characteristic, right, development tool that I'm actually going to break down for you right now, you use this on a constant basis, right? But you're also building out a world where this new person exists in this new state, okay? So what you're doing is you're saying, okay, if I was in love and my SP loved me, how would I feel? Well, I'd feel excited. I'd feel empowered. I would feel like I have a purpose. I would feel energetic. I would feel full of joy, right? Whatever it is, and everybody's gonna have different feelings with those attached, okay? And so each one of that is a characteristic. Each feeling has a particular behavior attached to it, okay? Like when you think of somebody excited, you don't think of somebody like, Eeyore, thanks for noticing me, right? And so you think of a certain bodily reaction to being excited. Yeah, right? You're at a game and it's your favorite team just won, right? Whatever it is, we have some sort of visual attached to it. That's, by the way, that's why visuals work so well with the brain, because neuroscience shows that when we hear words, the brain doesn't process words. The brain processes the words as images. It's like our brain is basically really, really better understood. If it had a language, it would be hieroglyphics, right? It's the emotion or the feeling with the language. And if God had a language, it would be feelings, right? It would be feelings and images combined together. It would be hieroglyphics. And that's what you're doing. You're creating the hieroglyphics of the life that you want to live and the person you want to become, right? Are you with me? So what you want to do then is you want to work on this characteristic chain. So how do you do that? Well, okay, if you're the SP and you know that you're going to feel a certain way with this SP in your life, okay, then you're going to build a model for yourself. And that model can be based even on other people. You're like, wow, like people will go on TikTok and Instagram and they're like, oh my gosh, this like famous couple is like goals, #goals, right? And if that works for you, then use that and be like, okay, what do I like about them? Why do I like them so much? Why do I like them as a couple? What is it about them being a couple that I love? Okay, that's going to give you the characteristics, okay? How do they treat each other? How would you love to be treated? How are you going to treat your significant other? All of these kinds of things, right? All of those are the details that you really want to get extremely detailed with. Okay, how would you feel? What would you be doing? How would you be doing it? At what time of day would you be doing it? All of those things can matter in that you want to create a world. You're creating a world where this is you, okay? And so you're that person. So the characteristic chain is combining the art of storytelling with the art of using Neville's work and combining scenes that make you the person you are now. Okay? Now. Not tomorrow, not in 2 days, now. Because you're not only going to live it out here, you're going to live it out in the 3D as well. Some people might disagree with this, but neuroscience research shows that if we can combine the relationship between the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, it actually happens quicker, right? And so you want to create behaviors in this world that will model that. Now, obviously, you can't be going and be like, well, that'd be random. Or you can walk up to people and be like, hey, you're my significant other. Don't do that. It's called a criminal activity. But basically, what you want to do is you want to perform the behaviors. And this is where the persistence comes in, right? Persistence doesn't just mean, hey, keep going. The biblical understanding of that word means to take it with you everywhere you go. So yes, in here first, out here second. Always first, second, right? Primary, secondary, okay? So what you're going to do, though, is you're going to create a characteristic chain, all right? And there's certain behaviors that always come with your state all the time. And so choose those behaviors. What do those behaviors look like within? That means you're choosing an action, that you're repeating a singular action that you repeat only once, over and over and over until you feel it real, right? Until you're self-convinced. Then do it out here. What would you be doing? Would you be going to a game? Or would you be going to the movies? Would you be going with your friends? So now you're the person who has the SP going to the movies. Yes, you might be alone at that time, or you might even be going with friends. But imagine that when you go, you are actually interpreting the event. Even though you know in 3D, you're hanging out with your friends. It's like, nope, I'm here with this person. Again, don't randomly just hug people in the theater and say, you're my SP. Okay? I do not want to be like in trouble because you got a criminal record. So basically what you want to do is you want to take the feelings, the self-conviction of I'm going now, right? So you may have heard the story that Neville tells about the girl who had lost somebody, right? Special to her, share below. But the point that I'm getting at isn't the correction of that story, is that what happens in the story, okay, is that she's crying, right? Because she lost somebody that she loved, and she's in the streetcar, and essentially her tears start rolling down her face. And she's like, nope, these aren't tears. This is the salt of the sea, right? And so that's what it means to persist. That's what it means when you try to understand the biblical word for persevere, where Neville gets his idea of persisting from, right? You're taking it with you. Everything that you interpret, every behavior should be you interpreting from the state of the wish fulfilled, right? And so that's what this means. That's how you can use this tool for the characteristic chain development, because you want to create a world, that's my word for ecosystem, a world, right, where everything is saturated, whether it's inside your head, in your imagination, or outside in the world of lack. You want to create meaning everywhere you go that is proving to you mentally that you are experiencing what you want to experience. And then, in a way that you will not know, it will happen. And it will happen, right? So, hope this was helpful. Let me know what was helpful, and definitely retell the story about the girl in the streetcar below. So, much love to you. Be safe in the world, and I will talk to you all soon. Be awesome.